Hi, everybody. Kate Freeman here with another Lester story. I think this is number 4. One of the things that people often ask me, who've heard Lester speak on recordings and so forth, is what was it really like to be in his presence? What was it like? And I thought today I'd tell you a little story about one of the first times that I went to Lester's house. And I was working in the office in Phoenix, and there was a retreat in Sedona. So I volunteered to take some materials up to Sedona in my car. And I arrived, it was dark after working all day. And so I drove up to Lester's house. It was the first time I'd been there. And I could hear the tires crunching on the gravel, and I'm sure he did too. He came to the door, and there were no street lights in this part of. It wasn't really Sedona. It's called the Village of Oak Creek. It's south of Sedona, but very connected. And so it was dark. It was very dark when I got out, and Lester said hi. I said hello, and he was just kind of quiet. And I stood up and walked over near him, and I happened to look up. And if you've ever been in the desert, high desert, when it's dark outside, there are so many stars. It's just more than you can believe. The air is so clear that you can see billions and billions and billions of stars. And I was just awestruck. I had never seen so many stars. I hadn't been in Arizona very long. And I looked up, and this tremendous fear came up. And so I released, but I think it was because I just felt so small with all these stars. And of course, hanging out with Lester was always a help to bring things up. Anything you had inside could be brought up with Lester's presence. So we walked over by the door. I'm talking about what I have in the car, and all of a sudden, I hear in this ivy that kind of grows up the side of the house there by the door, I hear this rustling. And remember, I'm new to Arizona, and first thing I think is rattlesnake. And so this big fear comes up again. Something's rustling in the ivy. And Lester kind of smiled. I didn't say anything, but he knew I was afraid. And he said, "It's just a toad. See?" And he pointed kind of to where it was, and I saw then that it was a little toad in the ivy. So he said the sweetest thing. He said, "I'll keep you safe." And he said it with his whole heart. It was just such a beautiful thing to say. So I brought the materials and we set them on the conference table. He said, "Would you like to see the rest of the house?" And I said, "Oh, sure," because Lester built this house. And I was very excited to see, how he had made it and so forth. So as you went in the back door where I had been standing talking to him, there was a little kitchen, and the kitchen was quite small, but very convenient. And so he explained kind of how he had done things. Then we went into, well, it was really the living room, but it was quite a large living room because he had made it big so they could have courses there. And it had beautiful arched windows, and it was stucco, and and it was just an elegant room. And he explained some of the ways that he had saved money in his building. He was so brilliant in building things very economically, but so beautifully. One of the things he did was he used a design in wrought iron, and they poured concrete, and then they stamped it so it looked like Mexican tile. It was colored concrete, and it was just the most beautiful floor. I've seen this done today, but at the time he built this house in maybe the 60s, they weren't doing that. But anyway, he was showing me, and he was just so welcoming, and showed me the bedrooms. He showed me his bedroom. Just kind of opened the door and said, "This is my bedroom." And I remember the thought I had, because I tend to be a little disorganized, a little messy in the way I keep my office and those kind of things. And I always felt this tremendous shame about it. And Lester's showing me his bedroom, and I thought, oh my gosh, it's a little messy. Not bad, but a little messy. And I let go of my shame around that. So it was quite a beautiful interchange. And just being in Lester's house and in his presence really could help one let go. He had a wonderful way of seeing you as free and as whole, complete, and perfect, as he often said. So it was very strengthening, is the word I would say, to be with him, because there was no judgment. And he saw each of us as a free being, whole, complete, and perfect. He said that a lot. So lovely to see you today, and remember, you are, in this moment, whole, complete, and perfect. Lots of love. Bye.